Everyone's having a lovely Tuesday, and I wanted to do a get ready with me while I talk about some things that I've been struggling with as a 27-year-old who is trying to get my relationship with Christ back on the right path, and someone who is trying to strengthen her relationship with Christ. I was just writing some things down in my journal about things that I've been struggling with, things that I would like to get rid of in my life to strengthen my relationship with God. And if you are new to my page and you don't believe in God, no worries, you are still more than welcome to stick around. I came up with, I think, 17 things that I struggle with as a Christian. I was born and raised in church, kind of got out of church the last few years as an adult, and I am now trying to strengthen my relationship with Christ for myself and for my own mental health and for my own love for Him. As an adult, it's harder, I feel like. When you're raised as a kid in church, you're woken up to go to church, you're expected to go. It's kind of all laid out for you, and then as an adult, there's no one there making you do those things anymore. And I fell out and struggled for years, mainly due to mental health. And this is my first talking video, guys, so bear with me. I get super nervous. Alright, so number one, by the way, this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. It is gorgeous. That's not what this video is about, but I just had to mention it because I love it. I used it on my best friend recently and it just looked phenomenal. Anyway, but number one, I think, was substances. I wouldn't say substance like abuse, but I have struggled for years with vaping, gardening, and drinking. Never really was an issue for me until I let it become an issue. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like if I let myself drink when I was depressed or in a wild mood, once I hit that buzzed feeling, I wouldn't stop and I would just get drunk. I do believe God has a sense of humor, and when I started praying about gardening and vaping and trying to stop and praying for the willpower to stop and the strength, those things no longer made me feel good. They made me feel anxious. They made me feel bad. They started giving me terrible anxiety, and they didn't make me feel good like I thought they used to. So next thing on the list would probably be language. I'm terrible about not cussing. I feel like it helps me get my anger out. That's another one. I'll just cut this video a little shorter and pair those two. Anger. I struggle with anger very much, and with my language. I just never really care. That's one thing that I've really started to not want to do if I can help it. Not as much of a serious one, but it is something that I would like to do less of. And then that kind of ties in with anger, because I said cussing kind of helps me release anger, I feel, not in the right ways. And that's another thing, is I do struggle with anger and forgiveness of people and myself. I hold grudges against myself mainly, and I swear I wake up every day mad at myself and feeling guilty for something, mad at myself for something, feeling like I should have done better the day before, or did this, I didn't do that, blah blah blah, and I beat myself up for it. Same with people. I will say I'm pretty forgiving, but I do hold anger, and I do try to be less angry. I react very emotionally, and that's hurt me in the past, so I'm trying to work on my anger as well as my language. Another big one I struggle with is having poor mental health as a Christian, which I feel like isn't talked about a ton. A lot of my old pastors or any pastors I would hear growing up would say, like, if you're anxious, you're depressed, like, you just need to trust God more, you don't trust God enough, you know, stuff like that. And it made me feel like crap. It made me feel worse, which now at 27 I don't agree with. There are many people in the Bible that struggle with mental health, suicidal thoughts, stuff like that, and you know, I think each of us has a burden to bear in life and a struggle that God has given to us. and I feel like mine has been my mental health. I think mine is completely genetic. My birth mom did. I found that out a couple years ago, and I struggle with the same depression, anxiety, ADHD, bipolar disorder, suicidal thoughts, stuff like that. So I feel like that is my burden to bear in life. My biggest career passion was veterinary medicine, so I feel like maybe God gave me this mental health struggles my whole life to prepare me for this difficult, emotionally, mentally hard career that does affect your mental health, but I've already struggled with it my whole life, so I'm hoping that's why he gave it to me and it can help others. So anyway, those are just a few things I struggle with. I may do another part 2 if some of y'all end up liking this video or have the same struggles and want to hear about other struggles or can relate. Comment and like this video, but those are just some things I wanted to share in hopes that maybe someone else is going through the same struggle or can relate. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. Y'all continue to pray for Texas and the victims out here. We were blessed in my area to not have been affected so much by the floods, but y'all keep those families that were in your prayers and the first responders. And if you stayed for this whole video, thank you for watching, and comment if you can relate. If y'all would like to see a part 2, let me know. I hope everyone has a blessed and wonderful week.